Today I want to talk about a topic that I have spoken about quite often, but I never had a dedicated video to it. It's very important, and I do want to stress the importance. So today I want to talk about inflation. You probably heard about the word inflation all the time. You see the memes of the central bank go brrr, or you hear what's Bitcoin's inflation. You talk about the inflation of these tokens in the ecosystem. Fair enough. You hear the word inflation all the time. But this is what I want to point out. There are two types of inflation. There's monetary inflation and there is price inflation. So monetary inflation is the increase of money, tokens, or whatever means of transfer that you want to talk about in the ecosystem. So it could be the brrr that Mr. Powell has been doing with the Fed, and that is the increase of the monetary supply, money that's available. Or it could be in your tokens, in your token ecosystem, you have something like a 2% inflation every year, which is the 2% increase. The system just creates 2% increase in new, fresh tokens into the ecosystem. That is monetary inflation. Price inflation, on the other hand, is, for example, you reference to the price. For example, this cup costs $2 and tomorrow it costs $4, and that's the inflation in the price of it. So I have to use more of these dollar bills to be purchasing the cup itself. And that's price inflation. These are two very different things. Price inflation is reference to the price of the goods, and monetary inflation is referencing the amount of money or the money supply or token supply in the ecosystem. Why is this important? Because when we're talking about monetary inflation, we're talking about the direct system increasing the money supply. It could be the Fed printing more money. It could be the token ecosystem creating more of these tokens. On the other hand, when we're talking about price inflation, this is the regular inflation statistics that you find in a lot of macro markets theses or research. To put it simply, when we're talking about inflation in the Bitcoin world or in these tokens world, saying that there's 0% inflation, that is referring to monetary inflation. When we read different reports talking about the US economy has inflated so much over the past 10 years, that is price inflation. These are two very different inflation terms. They are connected, yes, I agree, but they are not directly correlated. That means when there is 2% increase in money supply, new fresh money that's minted by the central bank, it doesn't always mean that there's 2% increase in price inflation. I have been trying to figure out the link. I have not found any papers talking about the link. It's very difficult to find the link, but anyway, they're correlated. You just don't know to what extent they're correlated. That's it for now. So when we're talking about price inflation, remember, it's two different things. Monetary inflation, which is the increase in money supply, which is the increase in how much the token ecosystem is minting new tokens. And then there's price inflation, which is the increase in price. Two very different things. When we talk about central banks again, central banks are always aiming for 2% inflation. They are referring to price inflation. So 2% price inflation in goods and services. There's a lot of economic theories behind that. I'm not going to go into it in this video. If you want, let me know. I can talk about it. And when we're talking about price inflation in all these ecosystems, that's really talking about, when we're talking about inflation in these ecosystems, that's really talking about monetary inflation. So it's the increase in money or the increase in token supply. Two different things, don't mix them up. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.